My name's Louise, I'm the branch leader for the Young Archaeologists Club here in Leeds, and today it's very exciting. We're undertaking an archaeological excavation at the Ice House in Middleton Park.
So why are we here? Well, we're here because this is the Ice House behind us that was discovered 5 years ago when South Leeds Archaeology did a dig and exposed it all, well, exposed part of it.
My name's Paul, I'm a member of the local Middleton History Group, and one of our members, when we were talking about the park, talked about Ice House Lane, and we wanted to know if there was a connection between an ice house and Ice House Lane. And 3 or 4 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, came down here having a look for this ice house, and as you can see from the photograph, all we could see was just a very vague outline. So we cleared the leaves away and moved the rubbish. There's a lot of old wood and things, and this circular form appeared.
And then 2 years ago the young archaeologists came and found the entrance, which hadn't been found first time, but we didn't find exactly what the right shape of the entrance was, and it's a bit intriguing. So we planned 3 or 4 months ago to give a dig here with South Leeds Archaeology, myself from the Friends helping out, and we've planned this dig to try and put a shape to the entrance. It's a bit interesting because the wall bends, so it's not like a straight igloo, it looks like it's got a bend in it, but the bend goes into the slope, which is a bit strange.
When we did it, obviously last year there was more questions than answers, which is archaeology all over the place, and we decided to find out where is this entranceway going, how big is it, which were the questions left over from last year. So this year we've got a 2-day excavation with our Leeds Yak heading the excavation this morning, and we always invite other Yak groups to come and participate, which will be the next process tonight, this afternoon and tomorrow morning, and we just encourage the kids to get hands-on, adults hands-off, help where they can, and they just come and they dig and enjoy themselves and hopefully be able to help us answer the questions that we're here to answer.
We dig in the ice house and we dig in 2 trenches, one which we think is going to be the slope where the ice would have come down and into the pit, and the pit itself.
We're trying to find, well, we've got 2 sections. One we're trying to get to the cone, and the other we're trying to find the entrance, the other wall.
So what we think is we're still inside the dome part of the ice house. So what we're doing in here is we're just going to try and get as much of that dirt out as possible, as deep as we can get it safely, to see if we can find the return and the cone coming down.
We're trying to find out where it starts, like going down into a cone rather than we've found kind of the dome area of the ice house.
I've been loosening soil with the mattocks, and then I've been shoveling it to loosen up the soil so the shovel people don't actually have to dig. They can just get the soil off the top.
Ice houses were the thing that rich families had in the 1700s, mostly into the 1800s. And it was to keep ice over winter into the summer so that they could use the ice for cooling food, keeping fish and meat fresh.
In Stuart and Georgian times, they were sometimes that most of them were used to make ice cream, a bit like a Stuart ice cream van, but they weren't on wheels and they didn't sell ice cream.
It was a real status symbol, so every big house had an ice house somewhere.
It's like a thermos, so it like keeps the hot air in, well, it's cold, so it'll keep the cold air in and then all the hot air out of it.
It's an insulated roundhouse, so it's several layers of brick with an infill, and we weren't sure whether this was going to be the top or the bottom.
I was trying to find a cone shape, because ice houses are shaped like this. There's always a massive dome over the cone. So if you took it all out, it would look a bit like a massive ice cream.
Yeah.
And why is it here? Well, it's a north-facing slope, so it's in the shade nearly all the time, good tree cover, and it's really out of the way. so it will keep cool in summer. And they had the lake in the park, which was there then as well. It's even older than that. So they'd have taken the ice when that froze. They had a lot harder winters than we have at the moment, so there's always a good supply of ice each winter. It's the time when they had the fair on the Thames, you know, Thames froze and they had the fairs on the ice. It's all at that same period. It was quite a cold period.
We're trying to find a bit of the entrance that links to the pit type area because we haven't really found the connecting wall.
We're hoping to find some stairs or something that leads down into it. And then also trying to see if it's just a slide down and then we can see if the doorway goes into the ice house and we can get the hole.
Over there, we think we found a chute. That might be an entrance, but it might have been an entrance, might be stairs or a slide.
The big house in Middleton, Middleton Lodge, was built in the 1760s, and this would have been their ice house. It's a fair distance from the house, but then again, the owners never fetched it. They sent the servants and they had to cart it all the way back up to the house, the big house up there for use.
So what I do is I put the location of that in, which is arbitrary at the minute. So I've just made up a point name, and then I've told it how high that is off the ground, and I've told it how tall this staff is. So I put this on the ground, and I'll make sure it's really level. There's a little bubble there. So when the bubble is in the circle, that means it's really level, and it means that machine can use this prism and it'll measure, it shoots a laser out of there into here, and the laser shoots back, and then what it does is it not only measures how far away that machine is from the machine, it also measures what angle, because if you watch the machine now, look, I can make it go up and it'll measure that angle there, right?
Mainly I just want to get like the experience of what a real life dig would be in another country. I was quite excited when I was telling people like, what's yak? And they said, every time I said yak also. I found out about it when I went to York. We went to Jorvik and a man there was asking me what about history, and he asked me a few questions what I know about Boudica, and he said, oh, why don't you do yak? And then I looked it up and that's how it started. Okay, so YAC is short for Young Archaeologists Club. We have them all over the country. We just learned about archaeology and history, that sort of stuff.
Oh, do you want some kneeling pads, guys? Yes. Kneeling pads. No.
Next session, we'll take all our results and we'll take our finds and we'll process them and see what we've learned and see if there are any more questions to be asked.
Okay, so there's lots of people that helped make the Young Archaeologists Club happen. So that's the Council for Archaeology over in York. Also Leeds City Council, who've given permission for us to do the dig here, but also host our club every month at the Visitor Centre in Middleton Park. We have to thank the Friends of Middleton Park and also South Leeds Archaeology, which we wouldn't be able to do this dig without. Also our amazing volunteers. We've got some great volunteer leaders, and obviously our members, and the Heritage Lottery Fund actually helped set up the club originally as well, so we have to thank them. So huge amount of people, we've got an amazing club, come and join us. Yay!